Okay, Bappo. You ready, baby? Let's hit it. Hey there, everyone. It's Anthony, back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Today we're here with a little around the town potty walk with the boy. This crazy boy. Well, hi. Hope you're doing well. Make sure to leave in the comments how things are going for you. It is Wednesday, February 18th. And I just got off of work. Well, that's not true. I got off of work about 40 minutes ago. But I was preoccupied with some stuff, which we will get to. It's been almost an hour now. But yeah. So, hope you're doing well. Things are going good over here. It has been a minute since I filmed a vlog. I think my last vlog that I filmed was Friday. So we've had, 5 days since I've filmed anything? That seems crazy, but it's true. Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a week. Or it's been a good portion of a week. I feel like I have not a lot going on, but also a lot going on at the same time. It's just a lot of different things. But yeah, work is going good. It's slow, given the circumstances. It's slow, but I had a fair amount of stuff to do yesterday and today, wrapping up some of my requisitions that hadn't been put on hold. And so putting together recommendations, and tomorrow I have 2 offers to make, regrouping with another manager on some stuff, and then today I had 3 meetings plus an online webinar because my job just they've had it for a while, but they officially rolled out Microsoft Copilot, which is their version of ChatGPT, but it's specific for our business use. So we had to learn how to properly use it, which is really cool. I'm super excited to start incorporating it into my day-to-day. Finally taking the leap forward and have an authorized tool to use, which is cool. So I'll be playing with that tomorrow. So yeah, between webinars and meetings, it was a pretty packed day. But I did have some time to do a couple things. So yeah, I guess let's just get right into that. Let's not bury the lead. I have some more life stuff that I want to talk to you all about, but me and Mia on Saturday morning, we filmed a portion of our first podcast. Our first episode of You Know the Drill was filmed on Saturday. I did a live stream on Friday, a pop-up live, because I had this past Friday off. I did a live stream just as a final check for audio, and just making sure everything's the way I wanted it. Everything's, just right. And I did that live stream. Everyone said it sounded good. Everything looked good, sounded good. I was perfect. So I finished that live stream, and Mia was on that with me. And then Mia went live immediately following. But I had a few minutes to listen back to my own live stream, and I was it's still too quiet. I gotta figure this out. Why is it still, I'm not getting the oomph out of the I'm not getting the oomph out of what I need. And so I scrambled and went and got like a booster. Essentially, it's like a preamp. It's a booster that boosts the gain, the power to the microphone. And I went and got it because I was panicking, and luckily I looked up quickly what I needed to get. And I heard of it before when I was doing research for audio, but I just wasn't sure I needed it. Turns out I did need it. So I went and got it, and I was like, Mia, can I, Apollo, come on. Can I hop on your live with you and David to test the audio levels again? And she's like, sure. So I like literally ran to the store, got the preamp, got it home, hooked it up, and immediately got back on with Mia on her live, and it sounded much more to my liking. I was like, okay, I think this is finally it. I mean, much bigger, much more of an investment than than necessarily I was anticipating, but it's still all within like what you'd consider a budget setup. So I'm still not, I don't have like professional, well, it is professional, but it's still on a quote unquote budget. Anyway, so I was like, yes, this is it. This is finally it. So I think this is it. I have what I need finally. So now when I set up my audio, I've got my boom arm that has the microphone connected to it. The microphone then runs to the preamp, then that runs to the amp, and then that runs to the audio interface, and then that runs to the computer. So, when I set up to film in my room, I've got like just cables, just a nest of cables running everywhere, but it sounds good. And when I move, which I have an update on that, I'll have a setup that I don't have to tear everything down, which will be really nice. So, yeah. So did that, got on Mia's live, confirmed that everything was good. And then I believe that's the last vlog I filmed was Friday. So I may have already talked about this, but I believe that was the last one, was Friday. And then Friday night, I don't believe I did anything. I think I just hung out on Friday night. And then Saturday morn, I got up, got life together, and then Mia and I filmed the first part of the podcast. So that was really cool. We had our whole, our intro and outro scripts, and then everything else had topics and bullet points that we wanted to hit. It was great. It went really smoothly, very easy. It was not nearly as hard to talk into the microphone and go through the stuff as I thought it would be. It's really the prep work. It's like getting the info together, getting the events together, talking about, events that we're aware of, getting the news and updates together that we wanted to talk about, and prepping all of that and putting our list of info together. That's the most time-consuming part, but the talking part's easy. So we did that, and I was like, okay. So for our first episode, we decided to do interviews of ourselves, just like intros, because we don't have a guest. I was like, I think it would be smart with our first episode just to talk a little bit about us and our diamond painting journey, or whatever we want to share. So I was like, well, we'll need to do that and get that together. So we filmed it, and then I was able to, right then and there afterwards, get on Final Cut Pro and edit everything that we had so far together. So I picked out the music and added our little logo intro and all that stuff. So that was really cool to put it all together and hear it, hear the start and end of the podcast. And a good majority of it was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So it's been sitting on my computer, and we'll circle back to more life stuff that happened. If I forget something, I'll have to mention it on a future vlog. A lot actually did happen this weekend. So did that. And then today, I was like, Mia, we gotta do our little interviews so we can finish this. It's like, do you have some time today? And she's like, yes. So I set up a StreamYard, put her on my computer, and I was like, okie dokie, I will be sitting here listening to lo-fi music in the background, and I'm going to remove myself from the studio so it's just you. Is it weird if I'm listening? She's like, I don't care, it's fine. It's like, okay, I'm just going to have music playing. I'll be listening, and you just say, Anthony, I'm done when you're done. She was like, okay. So she did her thing. I was like, Anthony, I'm done. And I was like, okay, cool. So we saved her clip, and then she finished. I finished up work and did my clip. So I sat there and did my little spiel. And I was able to immediately pull them into Final Cut, drop them in. There was a couple little edits that we needed to do, or that I needed to do, but dropped them into the podcast, and way easier again than I thought it would be. Drop those in and download the video file for YouTube, and then the audio file for, what is it called? What do people use? Not SoundCloud. What is it? Spotify and Apple Music. So it's done. It's ready. It's ready to post. And in fact, I was listening back to it a little bit before we started our walk. So do you want a little sneak peek-a-rooney of the intro? Are you ready? Let me turn the volume up. Oh, is it going to be in my ear? Yeah, hold on. Got to turn my headphones off. Okay. Sorry, everyone. Right when I was about to play it, these two girls are very sweet. They're like, can we pet your dog? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. And they're like, is that the dog that can do really cool tricks, like climb up the ladder and stuff? I was like, yep, that's him. And like, can you have him do it for us? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I had him climb up there and then climb up on the little mountain thing. They're like, oh, wow, he's cool. And I'm like, oh, thank you. It's like, I didn't know he had a little fan club. Apple, you have a little fan club. Yeah. Good boy. So they were like petting him and giving him loves, and he's such a little ham. Oh, you missed one. There you go. Okay, back down. Thank you. Yeah, he's such a little ham. Anyway, sorry. Let's try that again, shall we? I'm gonna play you the first little intro of the podcast as a little sneak peek. All right. Are you ready? Let's do this. Let's do it. Hey there, everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of You Know the Drill, a diamond painting podcast. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Mia. You Know the Drill is a monthly video podcast where we get into all things diamond painting.
Okay, that's all you get. Just the first little bit. So yeah, it's done. So I have the audio file on my phone. I just wanted to listen back to it while I was getting ready to leave the house. But the video file's done as well. So it's ready to go up on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. So yeah, when I get home tonight, the file's being sent to Mia as we speak. It's uploading into our shared drive so she can put it on her channel. And my job today, or tonight when I get home, is get Apollo fed, get in my comfy cozies, and put the post together on our website, and the website will automatically feed that to Spotify and Apple Music. But I have to add the title and the episode number and the show notes. So anything that we've discussed or highlighted during the episode, if it's like links to a content creator's channel or a shop or an artist, you'll have all the links for that in the show notes. And that'll show up not only on our website, but on Spotify and Apple Music. So if you ever find it there, you'll have those links there too. So it's meant for people that are crafters and diamond painters that exist on YouTube, and those that might find us through podcasts. So very excited. It's, like I said, the easiest part is the actual recording. It's all the back end stuff, the putting together the episode notes and the looking up events and booking interviews and all that stuff. It's a lot of back end work, but I'm excited. So, yeah, it's ready. So we have it set, Mia and I, to go live on Friday. So in 2 days at the time of filming this, but you'll most likely see this on Thursday. We'll see what I get done at home. So I got to get this edited and posted too. So yeah, it should go up. I'm thinking, I don't know what Mia would want to do, but me personally, I think I'm going to set it as a premiere so people can watch along. And I'll set it for an hour before I have to start work. That way I can be there in the chat. And yeah, we'll have like a little launch party, I guess. Online launch party for the first episode. Mia will have it going on her channel as well. So if she wants to do it, then, you know, she would have her own premiere. We'll see what she wants to do. I haven't even brought this up with her. So I'll check with her tomorrow. Come on. So yeah, it's good. It's good. I think it sounds good. I think the audio levels still have some tweaking to do just between the two of us. Meaning, I think she might be a little louder when we're doing our piece than I am. So I either need to churn myself up or balance it on the back end. And I can do that. The way it works is StreamYard lets you download individual audio files. So it has a file that's just when she talks and just when I talk. And then I can pancake them together so it's linear. You know, I start at the right time, she talks at the right time, but I can go through independently and churn her down or me up or vice versa, whatever. It just takes more time to do that as opposed to just having them all together on one big audio file. Takes more time to do that, and I'm not super versed with making sure that it's timed perfectly. Like if, let's say, we were to cut a portion out of the video, how do I make sure that exact same clip is cut out of the audio too, so we're not off? So I need to do some more research. I haven't quite really done that ever before. So I was like, for now, it's good. It's not that far off. Sounds fine to me. But in the future, I might get that much more intricate, especially if we have a third party, like a guest. Then if audio levels are off, then I'm gonna want to make sure to make it as clean as possible. But right now it's just me and Mia. I think it's good. So no comments. No comments on that, Matt. I'm just kidding. So yeah, I'm over the moon. I can't believe it's actually done. And now it's just the work of making it live. So I told Mia I'm going to work on the website posting. I also want to create a post on YouTube announcing it, on Instagram, and then I'll make one for Facebook. So by the time you're listening to this, you should see those announcements on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for the podcast coming Friday morning my time. So yeah, that's how all that went down. Yeah, it's been really fun to figure it all out, and I've learned a lot in a relatively short amount of time about audio production and sound quality and the equipment needed to make it sound professional. I feel like I was cramming for an exam on all this stuff. I've learned terminology and things about audio fidelity and stuff that I never thought I would need to learn. But now I have them, and hopefully it just means better content overall in the future. So yeah, I'm thrilled. It's so cool hearing us back. It's just like, whoa, it's happening, it's real. So, and then immediately we got done filming, or Mia got done filming her portion today. I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and get working on this. How are we looking for next month? Like immediately was like, okay, well, gotta start putting our news stuff together for next month, and how are emails looking for future guests. We need to start thinking about getting the guest scheduled and get ahead on the game of it. It's like we've just finished recording for the first one, and immediately it's like, next month, what's happening? So hopefully we can get moving and grooving with the second episode. Originally I told Mia maybe we can record like the first 3 episodes just to have them in the bank. That was my original idea, just to have them. And then when we're ready, we can start releasing them. But I wanted to get this going as early in the year as possible, because I kind of want to get into a groove before traveling starts and all that stuff. So we kind of expedited this process. So in a perfect world, we'd already have episode 2 done, but it's just, eventually we'll get there where we're well ahead. But this first episode was just kind of like, let's get it moving. And the next one will probably be the same. And then hopefully by April, May, we've got our groove. So we'll see. But I'm already like thinking about what I want to do for news and updates for March and all that stuff. But we've got a few weeks. So yeah, it's interesting. We'll see. Like I said, the recording is easy. It's the prep and putting it all together that I'm like, that's the part that takes some time. So maybe we'll get popular enough we can hire somebody to put together all the news and updates and events and book the guest, and we just get to sit and talk. Putting together topics and stuff, but I think we got it. Between the two of us, we can make this happen. So anyway, be on the lookout for You Know the Drill episode 1 coming in the next 48 hours, I guess. Apollo, I'm gonna unclip you, but I need you to stay. Stay. You're all twisted. Yeah, your leash was all twisted up. Stay right there. Good boy. Okay, now we can go. Little cutie. So yeah, we went to the off-leash dog park yesterday. Let him run around. We didn't do the full loop. I was just kind of feeling kind of tired. And so we didn't do the full loop, but we did a few miles. So he hopefully isn't too squirrely. But that kind of leads me back to other life updates. So didn't do anything Friday. And then on Saturday, which was Valentine's Day, I have been chatting with Matt and Ben. I was like, earlier in the week, I was like, hey, do you guys have anything going on this weekend? And they were like, well, it's Valentine's Day, but we don't have any plans. And I was like, oh, I completely forgot. It's like, well, let me know if you guys want to do a little dog play date or something on Sunday. That'd be fun. And they're like, okay, well, we don't mind hanging out on Saturday, but we'll let you know what we end up doing. I was like, yeah, sure. So they texted me on Saturday and were like, hey, we're off the highway coming into Golden. We went and had a little lunch date. I forget where they went. Where did they say they went? It was not fondue, but it was something, I feel like it was something along those lines where it was like, a thing. They went and had lunch somewhere and did a thing. So they went and did that, and then, hop up. And then they texted me and they're like, hey, do you want to hang out? And at first I was kind of hesitant because I'm like, it's Valentine's Day. But I also know that not everybody makes a fuss out of Valentine's Day. So I'm like, if they're reaching out, then they're doing that because they do want to hang out and not because it's a pity party. At least I would hope not. So I decided to not get in my own head about that. And I was just like, yes, if they're asking, then that means yes. Don't get in your own head. Don't assume people are thinking a certain thing. Just the answer is yes. So I was like, yeah, sure. Like, okay, well, we're coming into town and we're going to go grab a drink and then figure out dinner, later on. I was like, okay, fun. So I took Apollo for a walk. We went on a nice walk. And then I met them down here at a place called the Buffalo Rose downtown. But downtown was packed. It's Valentine's Day. Everybody's out doing their Valentine's stuff. They were lucky enough to get a table at Buffalo Rose. So I got there and they had gotten a beer and an appetizer. So we sat and hung out and there was some live music, which was really cool. So we sat and hung out. And I was just like, I'm not going to suggest we do additional things. I'm just going with the flow because, again, if they want to go do their own, couples business, who am I to, I don't want to be like, let's do this and let's do this. And then they're like, oh, we were thinking it would just be us, So I was like, let me just leave it and let me just let them guide the night. So we get done at Buffalo Rose. We sat there for a while and they're like, well, what do you want to do now? And I was like, well, are you guys hungry? And they're like, yeah, we want actual dinner, not just like they had like these tater tots. They looked like tater tots, but they came with like a sauce. It's like, okay, well, if you want, we can go to the other side of town where it's not going to be as busy. And there's a place called Bottles and Barrels. It's a brewery, but they also have these delicious wine slushies. They're more of a summer drink, but I like them. Like, oh, okay. And I was like, usually it's where the families go, like mom, dad, and the kids go to get a glass of wine and hang out, and they have like cornhole and stuff. So I was like, I'm not sure if it's quite the vibe you're looking for, but if you've never been there, it might be worth checking out. I'm like, yeah, sure. So we go over there to Bottles and Barrels. They've got curling going. Everyone's watching curling these days. And we hang out and get our little wine slushies, and we're just sitting and chit-chatting, and didn't eat anything there. And they have food, but it's not, it's okay. It's fine. And so we had that, and they're like, all right, where to next? I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, hold on, potty break. So it's like, okay, location number 3. It's like, well, literally across the street, right out the window there's a place called Rock Rest. It's kind of divey, but it's not divey in the sense that it's small. It's actually a really big place. They have a whole bunch of pool tables and all sorts of stuff. They've got a dance floor, and it's a whole thing. but the vibe is divey. Like, the clientele is divey. I don't hate it. It's just not my favorite place to go, especially if I'm by myself. I'm just kind of like, ugh. And sometimes the energy in there is a little too aggressive masculine, like machismo-y in there. I don't know. I just get weird vibes, which, I was not wrong. So they're like, yeah, okay, that's more our vibe anyway. And they play more kind of country and rock and stuff. So we go there and sit down. They're apparently doing pajama night. So all of the bartenders and waiters and everybody are all in pajamas, which was very odd because none of the patrons were really in pajamas. And the lady that was serving us, she's like, where are your pajamas? And we're like, what are you talking about? We just kind of like walked in here. We didn't know. And she's like, well, you need to start following us on Instagram because it's pajama night. Where are your pajamas? And we're like, well, sorry. But I wanted to say, like, it's only the employees in pajamas. So we're not the only ones that missed the memo. But she kind of seemed salty about it. It was weird. She was nice, but it was a weird interaction. I think she was trying to encourage us to follow their social medias, but she did it in a way that was weird. So anyway, we're sitting there. We get a beer. We order some wings and a pulled pork sandwich. We all got our meals. We were just kind of sharing, just the three of us, and they were like, cheers to Valentine's Day, and they kind of explained, like, we're not really Valentine's Day people, but we do believe in sharing it, whatever. It was very mushy-gushy. It was very sweet. Like, we do want to share time with people that we love, so we're glad that you're here with us. So I was like, oh, that's very sweet. So, so we did that. I kid you not, like maybe 10 minutes into us sitting down, some guy who had his kids with him, children, like not teens or kids that were playing pool, like children are there with their dad, and I guess some other guy at a different table, I'm not sure if he knew him or not, but was giving him the stink eye or something. So all of a sudden this guy walks over to their table and pushes this other guy off his bar stool, and they start scuffling and throwing bar stools around. It's like, what the heck? And meanwhile the kids are just standing there like like didn't know what to do. These little kids, I felt so bad for them. So anyway, he got kicked out with his kids. The other guy, I don't know what happened, but he finished his meal and left shortly thereafter. So I don't know what the drama was there, but we watched a fight on Valentine's Day. So it was like entertaining, but also kind of sad because of the kids. But we finished our meals and hung out and chit-chatted. And by this time, it's like 9 o'clock, 9:15-ish. I'm like, okay. So I was like, all right, guys, well, thank you so much for having me out, and I appreciate it, love you, and let me know if you still want to do a little dog date tomorrow or how you're feeling. Just let me know. And yeah, we'll touch base tomorrow. Get in my little car, get home, cuddling Apollo. I'm like, okay, set up the diamond painting table, go get your gym jams on. It's time to hunker down and get some diamond painting done. Like 5 minutes later, I'm like about to pick my pajamas out of the closet, and Matt calls me and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I just got home from seeing you. What are you doing? And he's like, we can't let a perfectly good Saturday night go to waste. We don't have anything going on. We don't feel like driving back home because they live about half an hour away up in the mountains. So it's not like they just have to drive back into Denver. They've got to wind their way up the mountain and, So once they're down here, I get it. They're down here. They want to make a day out of it, which I completely understand. But I was not really in the moment. I was not in the mood. I was just like, I've already done way more going out than I would normally do. And I already had my table down and had put my diamond painting down. Like, I was ready. But yeah. But I was like, you know what? I don't really have friends. We'll just be blunt. I don't have any gay friends other than Matt and Ben now, who I just met over the summer. All my friends are straight guys and gals and all of them are together, coupled up, some married, some not. And their social style is much like mine, where yes, we'll go to dinner or we'll have some drinks, but we don't really go out. And that's not really me either. At least it hasn't been for 39 years. And I was just like, I'm being presented this opportunity to hang out with like the two gay friends that I've found locally that I really get along with and love. I don't want to say no in favor of just sitting at home and crafting, so, at least not all the time. So it only took me like a brief pause before I was like, yeah, okay. So I was like, let Apollo out again. And they're like, we'll pick you up and we're taking you out. And so you don't have to drive, you don't have to worry about it. We'll be Matt will be the DD. And let's go have some fun. I haven't had that in a long time. So it's like, okay, we're doing this. We're being social. We're stepping out of our bounds. So I let Apollo out for a little potty break, gave him a kiss and some, some TREATSs. And they swung back around, came back into town and snagged me. And I was like, okay, where are we going? Are we going to the VFW perhaps? And so, are we heading over to the Elks Lodge? And so they were like, have you ever been to the Eagle? And I was like, I do not know what you're talking about. And they're like, are you serious? You've never been to the Eagle? I was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, well, it's a gay bar in Denver and it's interesting. Now, let me stop myself right here because the rest of the life update is going to delve into some territory that I normally don't talk about. So if you are, what would you call it? If you're not comfortable with gay themes, people talking about their sexuality and preferences and things they do in and around said topics, then the rest of this video is probably not going to be for you. So I just want to give you a heads up. If you're like, I don't want to hear that from Anthony, he's my boring, basic, vanilla gay guy that doesn't talk about these things, or you just don't want to hear about those things when you're consuming YouTube content, then this is your warning. I don't typically talk about this type of stuff because I'm usually not, it's not happening to me in life, and we'll get there. But I share with you guys. I share because I care, and it's stuff that happened over the weekend, and I'm comfortable talking about it, and it's nothing too crazy. I'm not. Don't worry too much. But it's just I've never talked about. It's a topic I've never talked about. So new territory. If you don't like new territory, that can get a little different. Then this is the end of the video for you, and thank you for being here. Okay, so back to us being in the car. We're driving to the Eagle. It's this gay bar that I've never heard about before. And I've been to, a handful. I mean, honestly, here in Denver, we only really have a handful or so. There's a fair amount, But I just, again, I'm mostly doing these things when I go out to like a gay bar or a club. For the majority of the time, I'm going solo. So I tend to stick to what I know or what I experienced when I was in college, and I would do these things, go out more. So I'm not super versed. I'm honestly not super versed. I feel a little sheltered in that way. So like, okay, we're going to the Eagle. I was like, all right, sounds fun. Sounds like a nice place. So we're driving there, and Matt turns to me and says, "Do you have any fetishes?" And I was like, why perhaps would you be asking that? And so it's a gay bar that has like different fetish nights, and they do different things like leather and all the different stuff, an underwear night, they do it all. Come one, come all, your quirks and your kinks are welcome here, is the kind of place that this is. So immediately I'm like, I didn't even bring my rosary, first off, let alone my pearls to clutch. What have I gotten myself into? Where are these gentlemen, these beautiful, handsome gentlemen, taking me? And so, it was just like, it was just like, what did I just agree to? Oh my word, I'm supposed to be at home with my diamonds and my petty, like what's happening? So I'm like, okay, we're saying yes tonight. Tonight is about saying yes. You've already made it this far. What are you gonna do? Tuck and roll out of the truck and Uber back? Like, what are you doing here? Let's see where this goes. So, I can't believe I'm talking about this, but you know what? I hope this brings. I hope it's just honest. It's life, and I hope this opens up a little bit more about me, and yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, I know why, because I know my audience. I know a lot of you, and we discuss and chat in comments and in lives. I'm not scared. It's just, it's weird talking about it. Again, nothing crazy. Well, to each their own. You might think this is all crazy. So anyway, back to the story. I'm just going to keep going. I'm not going to stop myself anymore. I'm just going to keep going and hope y'all are cool with that. But first, let me switch to night mode. I'm leaving you on a cliffhanger. Took the Christmas lights down, but maybe slightly. It looks like they might still have some up ahead. Anyway, we get to the Eagle. I was happy with the fact that it was not downtown Denver, and we weren't dealing with downtown Valentine's Day, hustle and bustle. It wasn't too far from where I used to live, where I lived when I first started diamond painting, like maybe 5-6 minutes from there. So I was surprised that I've passed this place so many times and didn't even know it existed. So anyway, they asked me if I have any fetishes, and I was like, no, I mean, I'm pretty, I'm pretty cut and dry. Just, nothing in particular, If I had to pick a type, I guess I like a bigger guy, both in terms of height and weight, than might be what people would normally think. Yeah, like a big old lumberjack. That's, that I can cook for. I was like, I don't know if that's a thing. It's just maybe a preference more than anything else. And I'm like, okay, well, you're not like into feet or anything like that. I'm like, no, not particularly, not as like a specialization. I just, whatever, I'm here. So it was just kind of this awkward conversation because, like, I don't think I've ever had that conversation with anyone ever. So to just jump right into it and it to be a very casual state, a very casual thing for them to bring up as we're driving. And to me, I'm like, oh, taboo, you know, ooh, no. So it was like this weird, like, oh no, it was weird. Weird in the sense that it was very laissez-faire for them, but it's not even something that I've talked about with anybody other than like boyfriends, you know? And even then, not really so much. So I was just like, I am so out of my element, and these guys are just so just open and comfortable in their own skin, and I'm just very charmed by them. Very charmed by them. This is really pretty. So get to the bar. It happens to be what they're calling pup night, in which men of all shapes and sizes and backgrounds and whatevers, many of them are in leather harnesses and leather jock straps, or maybe a thong situation. And many of them also have these like leather dog, I don't want to call it a dog mask, I guess that is what it is, but it's got like a little dog snout on it and zippers and leather and chains and stuff. Some of them are being led by other guys with like a leash or a chain. It was just, I walked in there, a good Christian woman, and I was like, what the hell is happening right now? What the hell is happening right now? They don't talk about this at the bake sale. So I'm just kind of like, oh, hello, hi, hey there, okay. But I very quickly was like, I went from being very, like, kind of like skittish and like a little spooked, if I'm not gonna lie, to being like, okay, all of these fellas, and there was some gals there too, you know, it was a good mix, are living their life in a way that I wouldn't, like, I would just be too shy to or scared to. So if they're comfortable in everything going on, then who am I to sit here in my khakis and my Patagonia zippered sweatshirt feeling like I need to curl up, you know, or recede into the background. It's like this, I don't know, it was weird. It was weird in the sense that I felt much more comfortable than I ever have at the gay bars or the clubs where everyone is is dolled up to the nines, and you've got to be, you know, you've got to be ripped or skinny and petite, or just, you know, all of that feeling that I usually get when I go into like a gay bar or a gay club of like, I'm not attractive enough, or gosh, I really need to work out, or I don't fit in here, where I end up just finding a quiet corner and sitting to myself scrolling on my phone because I feel like I'm too old, too ugly, whatever it is. I can't mix with this crowd. All of that kind of melted away. And so I just felt very comfortable and just like okay to be in my own skin and just vibe with it, you know? So we walk in, we grab a drink, we're hanging out, we say hi to the owner. They know the owner, he speaks German, Matt speaks German, like it was just, they knew each other, it was very friendly, very cordial, and people are saying hi to us and giving us hugs, and not everybody's in a getup, it just, it happened to be a night where that's the theme, and you want to be themed, then great. If you don't, then you don't. It's not a big deal. So it was a mix. And again, I think that's what made me feel comfortable, is it wasn't like I was the odd man out. It was just all kinds. And so they're like, do you want to play pool? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's play some pool. I'm like, oh, let's go dance for a little bit. I'm like, okay. So you walk through the main bar area, and then there's the pool area, and then beyond that is what used to be their outdoor patio. They've enclosed it, and now it's a dance floor, and that's where the DJ was. We walk in there. I'm just taking in the sights. And what do I see out of the corner of my eye? There is a gentleman, a fine-looking gentleman, who is tied up in like what I would call like a spider web. It's like a spider web that they've made out of nylon ropes in various colors. And he's kind of ensconced in the ropes, tied up within this web. Oh my God. I wonder if no one report me. Okay, I don't even know. I don't think this is breaking any YouTube guidelines, but it feels like, I don't know. So anyway, so he's all, tied up, can't move. I'm like, geez, Louise, how his legs must be going numb. He didn't move the entire time we were there. He's in one of the masks and a harness and a thong, and positioned in such a way, just standing, facing you, but kind of hips out, hips forward. And there's a note sitting next to this, and he's got the mask on. I don't know if I mentioned that. There's a note sitting next to him that says, this pup's master has given permission for anyone to touch or do what you will with my pup. And so people are walking by him, grabbing a little of this, taking a handful of that, pinching a little here, prodding a little there, getting this excited, making this happy, And he's just standing there, I'm here, just do what you will. And so I'm looking at it, and at first I couldn't quite figure out what was going on. I'm like, is this some sort of art piece? Is this a commentary on how we're all tied up as a society? What's happening? Then I saw the sign, and then I saw what people were doing to this gentleman, and I was like, oh. I did not partake. I couldn't quite bring myself there to pet the dog, if you will, but it was interesting. So we're standing there like sipping our drinks and like dancing next to this guy who's like all tied up, and I wanted to be like, do you need a bathroom break, or maybe I can bring you, I don't know if they have bruschetta here, but if you could use a snack. I mean, my God, you've been standing for an hour since I've been here. And he was there the whole night, just standing there, getting groped a lot. So anyway, so we're playing pool, I'm saying hi to people, and there's this guy sitting there. He's chatting us up. He leaves. I really don't know how to play pool. I was terrible. I lost every time. Well, actually, no, I won because Ben was assigned to play one round for me and then 1 round for Matt. So he was kind of he was like both of our partners since there's only 3 of us. And so, odd turn of phrase. So we're playing, and they're like getting more comfortable. So shirts off, they've got their shirts off. Most people have much more of that removed, but they just had their shirts off, and it was just like, I didn't know, like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Is it just whatever I want? If I want to stay with my zip up and just stay as I came in, and that's fine? Or is it going to be weird if I haven't at least disrobed a little bit? Like I couldn't figure it out. I'm sure if I just stayed nice and zipped up, it would have been fine. But I was like, you know what? Gosh darn it. I guess the top's coming off. So we're all playing shirtless pool, and I'm just like, what happened? How did this night go from picking out which Mary Magic anti-static scent I'm going to use, to me topless playing pool at the pup night at the gay bar? It's like, where? I don't know what happened. I felt like I was in some sort of alternate reality, but also loving it, but also having a fantastic time. So I had no complaints. It was just not where I thought the night was gonna go. So we hang out there and leave. We were there for like 2 hours, I guess. Just hanging out, chit-chatting, playing pool. We leave, and we're in the car, and I was like, you know what? I have to be completely honest with you guys. That might have been the best bar experience, gay or otherwise, that I think I've ever had in my entire life. And they're like, are you serious? I'm like, Denver's just, I didn't know that we had a public place where you could go and express yourself in that way, and just be free and loosey-goosey like that. I mean, again, most of the gay bars that I go to tend to be pretty uppity, and there's image and a sense of superficiality to it that just has never been my vibe. So I've just never really sought out other bars, because that's always been my experience, is like, oh, I'm not 20, I'm not a stick, I'm not buff. It's just not, I don't want to feel like ugly, I guess is the best way to say it. And always felt kind of like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna stand over here. It was such a different experience to just be in the mix and hugging people and chit-chatting, and didn't feel like I was getting a look like, ew, this guy, I was the one that was kind of like, I don't know, I felt tame, but in the sense that, like, I don't know, there wouldn't have been a problem with me walking around that place in my underwear. No one would bat an eye, Well, they might, but in a good way. Not in a gross way, like a grossed out way. It was just, I've never. So I just felt very comfortable and like confident, oddly confident. Like I could walk up to someone and be like, hey, how's it going? Like I've never really been that type of person or thought that would be reciprocated in any way. And a couple times that night it was, here and there. So I was just on cloud nine. I was having such a good time. So we get home and they drop me off, and I'm such a little emotional, when when I'm feeling good and stuff, I immediately am like, I just want to thank, but I didn't do it. I didn't do that. I want to thank you for just taking me out. But that's what I was feeling and thinking. I was just like, I love you guys. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad that we were able to connect and, find each other as friends. And I've never experienced anything like that before. And I'm just, thank you. Thank you for like, I don't know, making, helping me feel like more just okay with myself. And not think that the only way to feel welcome in like a gay setting, like a club or bar setting, is I've got to drop that 40 pounds and I've got to do this and do that. It was just very, I don't know. It was crazy. So that's night 1. We're not done yet. So we still have Sunday. And again, these guys, beautiful guys, Matt and Ben, heart-wise, well, easy on the eyes too, but very sweet, are also very open and just very, very free spirits. So I don't have any reservations or hesitations about talking about things. So, as if they, like, meaning if they were to listen to this, how could you out us, Honey, they out. So, Sunday rolls around. They were like, yeah, let's still do our, let's do our hike, whatnot. So wake up, hang out in bed, nursing a mild hangover. I'm listening to Mia's live. And then I texted them. I was like, hey, what time do you guys want to get started or get going? And they're like, hey, come up. Let's go on a hike, play Settlers of Catan. And if you wouldn't mind grabbing some veggies, we're going to grill some chicken and do veggies on the grill too. So if you wouldn't mind snagging some veggies, we have the chicken, and don't bring any drinks or anything like that. Just bring yourself and some vegetables. It's like, perfect. So I went and did that, listening to Mia's live for a little bit. I was like, sorry, I got to run, or I got to start lurking because I'm going to get in the car with Apollo and head up to Matt and Ben's. But the service up there, they're in the middle of nowhere. About half an hour from here, straight up the mountain, but just out in the woods, out in the forest. So I lost service pretty quickly, so I missed the rest of the live. Come on, buddy. Come on. I'd like to keep moving now. So get up there. Their house is gorgeous. It's this beautiful house in the mountains. Huge. Well, yeah, it's big. It's a big house. They got a lot of space, especially just for the two of them. And they like to have guests up, and Matt's mom will come up and stay with them for extended periods of time. And so we go up, we go on a really nice hike around their property, but going into kind of the state forest area on some trails and stuff. They have 3 dogs of their own, and Apollo is just on cloud 9 as well. He's running around, loving on the dogs and playing. One of their dogs, Dallas, is just about to turn 2 years old. Very much has that puppy energy. And so Apollo made fast friends with Dallas. They're chasing each other all over the mountain and having a good old time. And I was like, oh my gosh. And Apollo just had like the biggest smile on his face the whole time. They have a fenced in yard that's huge. So even when we got back, they're running around the yard, and he was able to just stay out there with the dogs, and they're just playing. He was covered in dirt and mud and twigs, and he was just living his best life. So we go on the hike. It was gorgeous. Come inside, play Settlers of Catan, and by this time, one of their other friends, I don't know what his thoughts are on me talking about this, so we'll leave it. But one of their friends, whom I met, we went out for sushi right around Christmas time, and he was there. So I had met him before. So we go play Settlers of Catan. We're hanging out, and they're like, okay, hot tub time. And I'm like, what? What's this now? They're like, okay, hot tub time. I'm like, oh, I haven't brought my swimwear. I wasn't made aware. And so I have nothing to wear. And they're like, don't worry, we have a towel for you. I'm like, oh, am I to wear the towel in the hot tub? And so I didn't wear anything in the hot tub, and neither did anyone else. Nothing happened, but another first for me. Another first. 2 days back to back. I was overwhelmed, but I, again, felt like so comfortable and just like, I don't know. I'm like, is this what I've been missing by hanging around all these straight white guys my whole life? This is crazy. So, come on, buddy. Come on. Hop up. I love that this is the story I'm telling while it's being tied to me announcing the first episode of the podcast. I'm sure Mia's going to be like, Jesus Christ, Anthony. Is this your podcast promo? Abbo, come on, please. So yeah, and again, just normal, hot tubby, hanging around, literally, with a glass of wine, just talking about the dogs because they're running around and playing, and just normal conversation. And I was just like, what? Okay, well, this is it. This is my Sunday. So did that, and then made dinner, played a couple card games, and I went home. Like, everything was a very normal, like, just hanging out with some friends day, except for the clothes part. Yeah. It's very interesting. Very interesting. So, and I'm, I think, second oldest in the group. But not by much. We're all within like 4 years of each other. So it's not like, it's like these three kooky, cool, like young, hip, it's just yeah. So, yeah. But, so that was my weekend. Didn't get a lot of diamond painting done, I'll tell you that. I got home and, I don't mind talking about it. It's an experience, it's a story to tell, and I like telling stories, so I'm telling it. So I get home, and Maddie and Joe had just gotten back from the company trip that they went on with Alex, and they all work together. Went on a company trip up to the mountains, and so they had just gotten home. I was like, oh, how was Steamboat? They're like, it was good. We had a good time. We ordered a whole bunch of Domino's last night if you want any extra. I was like, no, I just had dinner. I'm like, well, where did you come from? I was like, oh, I went up, spent the day with Matt and Ben up at their house. I'm like, oh, how was it? And I was like, well, it was interesting. So I told them all about it, and they're like, oh, Anthony. I was like, yeah, this isn't typical me, this is not typical me. Typical me walks my dog works my job, has a hard kombucha or a glass of wine once in a while I'm diamond painting, but other than that, I'm listening to podcasts and audiobooks and going to bed. So this is all very exciting. And so they were like, well, you should get out there. And, you know, they already introduced me to one new friend. And I've invited them to karaoke at the Eagle. They have karaoke nights on Thursdays. And I was like, well, what better way to get in the mix with this crowd than to go do a thing that I really like to do amongst the crowd. And yeah, I'm gonna go. And even if they don't want to come and it's just me solo, I feel much more apt to engage socially by myself than I would elsewhere there. And I'm not particularly I'm not into any of the stuff that I witnessed, but I'm not disinterested, so I guess I'm gonna go and see how it goes. Not every night is like that there, from what I understand, but if someone were to show up on the odd day and in that kind of garb, it wouldn't be, no one would turn their nose up at it. It's really just a come as you are and come as you want to be kind of place. So we'll see how tomorrow night plays out, but I'm going, and I'm cautiously optimistic. So that was my weekend. Not probably where you thought my description of my weekend would go. Not typical, is it? But I had a fantastic time. I can't tell you, I've just been in a good mood all week. I felt good to just feel comfortable in a setting that I normally wouldn't, and around people that were comfortable with me, both personality-wise and body-wise. It was just wild stuff, man. So yeah, so we've got Thursday karaoke, and then they're coming with me to the Chinese New Year celebration that they have at kind of one of the Asian kind of communities in the Denver metro area. It's called the Far East Center, which I've told you I'm going to film. So I'll have a vlog of that. So yeah, maybe you'll get to see Matt and Ben. I don't know. Well, I'll ask them if they mind. But yeah. Guess now that I say it, I talk it all through, it's not totally crazy, but was for me in the moment, for sure. Okay, and up. Good boy. Up. Meanwhile, Apollo's running around with the dogs and wrestling and grappling and eating snow because they got a little bit of snow up there. I'm sitting in the hot tub, and he walks up and he's all panting and smiling, and I'm sure he's like, "What, Dad? What's this about?" Ay. So anyway, that happened, and then I came home, got a little diamond painting done, kind of got back into my normal, regular life stuff, and that's been about it. I mentioned we'd circle back on the new place. So the tenants that were living in the place that I'm moving into above Alex and MJ's have officially moved out. So I got to go see it for the first time on Monday. So that was really exciting. Certain parts of the apartment are bigger than I thought they would be, and other areas are smaller than I thought they would be. But it's gonna work for just me and Apollo. It's gonna work out just too hot of a deal to pass up. I'm not gonna find a place in this area for that cheap. Certainly with 2 bedrooms. So you go up the stairs, which are pretty narrow, and you kind of get to the top of the stairs, then you have to make a right-hand turn to make it up to the, the living room. Nice, decent-sized living room. Actually a little bit bigger than probably what I would need, because I just have my sofa, love seat, and my TV and like a bookshelf. That's really all I have for the living room. So there's gonna be plenty more space. So I'm like, maybe I could put my work computer in here, in this little corner, and put my work computer, and then you kind of turn around. It's one long rectangle. So you turn around, that's at the front, and it's got these big, beautiful windows that look out over the mountains. Beautiful. And turn around, continue, and then you have your kitchen. And once I move in, I will do a tour. You have the kitchen, the smallest little kitchenette I have seen. Not the smallest. I mean, it could be smaller, but whew, she's small. It's got like a mini stove, like cooktop and stove. It's not a full size, it's like small. It's got the 4 burners and everything, but it's just small. And it's just like a little galley style kitchen. It's itty bitty. So I'm definitely gonna have to do some consolidation of my kitchenware and all my various appliances and stuff. I have enough room for like most things, but bigger appliances, I'm probably either gonna need to put on a shelf somewhere in one of the storage closets and pull it out when I need it. It's just, there's not enough counter space to have the blender and the air fryer and the crock pot and the this and the that out, like small space. But it's got this really beautiful skylight built into it that it's really cool. So then across from the kitchen you have a little breakfast nook. That's where the fridge is. So he kind of wants to reorganize it so the fridge doesn't have to be there, so you could truly make it into a little seating area. But the kitchen, the countertop has like a bar top area where you can put stools where you can eat. So no dining room, but a little breakfast nook and where you can put like 3 or 4 bar stools. You keep walking through another little archway, and then it's the bathroom to the right again. Pretty small bathroom. It does have a really nice walk-in shower that's a decent size, but it's small. It's small. But it's enough for me. And then across from that, you have this kind of pantry area, and then you open a door and there's this big, long storage area. You can fully walk into it. So I can put some racks for storage and my ski stuff and my diamond paintings. It's got plenty of room for that. Move into the next room, continuing down the rectangle, and that's the bedroom. It's a nice sized bedroom, plenty of room for my bed. I could put a little lounge chair in there, and that's where the door is to the walkout patio. And it's a pretty decent sized patio. You could get a table, an outdoor table and 4 chairs out there, easy peasy. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get some patio furniture so I can enjoy being outside on the deck. And again, facing out over the mountains. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. I can let Apollo out there to nap while I'm working from home, so he doesn't have to be in the heat of the house in the summer. And in the winter, he can be out there too, sleeping in the snow, and I don't have to worry about him. He's got room. Completely fenced in yard, so he can go play in the yard as well. We just have to go downstairs, and I have to let him in the yard. And it's a separate entrance. I don't have to go through their house. It's a mother-in-law suite, essentially. So you keep walking through the bedroom. So there isn't a hallway connecting to the two bedrooms. They call it a shotgun. So it's just two rooms right next to each other, but there is a door in between. So you open that door, and that's the office. But again, like I said, I'm most likely going to put my work desk in my work desk. I honestly don't know, because I have my computer monitors that I like to use to do video editing and stuff when I'm working on, social media stuff that I also use for work. So I'd have to haul the laptop back and forth between filming and editing. It'd be nice just to have it all together. I haven't decided. There's room for both in the office. There would be a little bit more breathing room if it was solely for crafting and filming. So I haven't decided. And there's just so much room in the living room that I'm like, it's kind of wasted space. I should put my work stuff over here because I have the room for it. Apollo. I haven't decided. But let's just say, are we doing another potty break? I don't know what he's doing. He looks like he's, yep, hold on. So the office is all the way to the back. And there's plenty of room in there. It's not huge. It's the smaller of the two bedrooms. Big enough for a queen size bed, a couple nightstands. That's about it. Maybe a dresser. But I'm gonna put my craft room in there. So there's plenty of room for my 6-foot table with room on either side. And then it's got a flat wall on one side with no windows, and the other side has a window. So it's this is perfect, because on the big flat wall, I'm gonna put my TV. I have two TVs. Don't ask. I have two TVs. But I'm gonna put the second TV mounted back there, and that will be the TV that when I'm filming and the camera is facing me, like when I do the podcast, I'll put up the podcast logo on it. So it's got that. Or if I'm filming Single and Placing, it'll have the Single and Placing logo. If it's Coaster Pursuit, it'll have the Coaster Pursuit. So I can kind of theme my videos to have the appropriate background. Instead of having to do eventually one day I was like, I'll get a green screen or something, but now I'll just have the TV. And then I can watch content like YouTube or movies or whatever, have that set up back there. And then have my craft table kind of dead center in the room so I can work at it from all sides. So if I need to move the chair around when I'm diamond painting and want to watch the TV, I can, or I can put it on the other side when I want the camera on me and the TV in the background. I can do it all. Okay. I can do that. And then there's room in there for all the tripods and the lighting and the this and the that, and it can all be in its own space again, finally, which will be really nice. So it's not as big as the bedroom that I had at my old place, my old craft room, but it's close. It's pretty close. Come on, buddy. I think we're done. He's like, I can jump on this and I can jump on this, and you taught me how to jump here. So I kind of in my head have it all laid out. Then the very last room very last door, you open that up and that's the closet / laundry room. So it kind of works double duty. Over here. So yeah, it kind of works double duty, which is fine by me. And then there's also an access door from the patio that opens up into the attic. So that's where I will have more storage for things that I don't use frequently. And you walk right in. It's just a door you walk into and you're in the attic. plus the other storage that we talked about. So I'll have enough room for my clothes and stuff. I definitely need to kind of consolidate some things, maybe give some older stuff away that I've just been holding on to over the years. It certainly is going to have me needing to be more minimal with stuff in terms of like, I have 30 coats and here's all the sweaters I've owned since I was 22. I'm going to have to make, condense for sure. I've never owned a dresser. I've always just folded things and put them on shelves in a closet. And luckily, most of the places I've lived at have had shelves. This place doesn't really have enough flat space in the closets. It's almost all hanging stuff. So I'm most likely going to need to buy a dresser to put all my folded clothes into. So that'll really help to free up some space, closet space. And like the kitchen stuff, like I said. So I don't have a ton, but I have like lots of little things, just lots of knickknacks and stuff. So I really need to kind of rein that in and just have less like little things and stuff. I don't know. I think there's plenty of room for me. I don't want the space to feel cluttered. And I know I have a feeling I'm going to be here for a while. As long as my job continues to be a thing. And Alex and MJ remain in that house, which from what I'm understanding, this is their house. This is the house. So as long as I want to be there, I have a place. So like I kind of want to curate this a little bit and not feel as though I'm being kind of transient in this space and kind of make it my own. So I'm kind of thinking about where do I want this and where will this go, and kind of thinking more long term, 3 years, who knows. So I'm trying to think about like, okay, what stuff have I moved into this house, my current place where I live, that I haven't even looked at since the time it made it out of my car and into wherever it went. And do I need that stuff still? So I'm thinking about that, and probably going to do some Goodwill runs or, thrift store or whatever runs, make some garbage runs and just try to narrow my stuff down a little bit. And don't anyone say anything about the diamond paintings. There's room, there'll always be room for those. So yeah, and we really didn't even talk about diamond painting. We're back at the house. We're just walking around now. You want to go this way? But I am now halfway done with my Spirit of the Rainbow by Mariella Rinaldi. It's actually moving pretty quickly, so I'd say 50% done. I'd like to finish it by the first week of March, ideally. So another 2 weeks. No progress on any other whips. Nope. Apollo, drop it. You don't need a piece of pizza. So yeah, so that'll leave me, once Mariella Rinaldi is done, that'll leave me with my Dueling Dragons whips and my custom from DAC. And my goal is to have the Dueling Dragons whips done by the time I move. So I'll finish Spirit of the Rainbow, and I'll have all of March and all of April to get the other two done, which I hope is more than enough time. More than enough time. Look at him. Can we go? Can I pull you away? Come on, buddy. You're being crazy. So I think I'm still ahead of schedule, quite significantly, on getting my 3 whips done, because I already finished my custom from Jade. So I'm very well ahead. However, Some of the work that needs to be done on the new place. In order to get a washer and dryer in there, there's washer and dryer hookups, but a full-size washer and dryer will not fit through the narrow doors that are between the two rooms, or the narrow door. So it needs to be widened in order to fit a washer and dryer in there. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna widen the door and get a washer and dryer. There's just a couple other things that Alex is like, I think this would really open up the space more if we bumped this wall up so it's not in an angle, so you have more space. I'd like to make this wall a half wall so it's just more open floor plan. And so he has these ideas, and he's like, I think we can get this done in March and April. If you're willing to help, then we're willing to reduce the rent even more. If you're willing to put some sweat equity into your rental. It's like, of course, happy to do that on the weekends with you guys. He's like, all I need help with is the demo and the framing. I will get my drywall guys, because he's one of the owners of the construction company. My drywall guys in to do all the hard stuff, and then we'll come back through with paint and finish. It's like, perfect. I'm happy to help out. So I think we can knock this out in a few weekends. I'm like, okay. So that just means that cuts into crafting time, obviously. So I just don't know what my progress on those whips will be, but I have a strong feeling I can get it all done. So anyway, that's everything. Yeah, that's everything. Oh, what a whirlwind. But yeah, I'm excited. Alex also did say, hey, if we finish this stuff early and you want to move in April, you're more than welcome to. So I told him I'll think about it. I don't have any intention on leaving a month early, but the option's on the table. So, all right. Well, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Love ya.